Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So we got something a bit different from Flysky. This is one of the first in Europe, I believe. So this is Flysky's new race orientated Ibus 2 servo. And I'll bring you in for a close-up look. I'll tell you a bit of specs and that. This is just a first look at it. So, we'll have a look at specs of this thing. And then later on, because I've got quite a lot of videos up in there at the minute, I will do a video showing you how to use this on the various radios. I believe Ibus 2 is supported on MB4 and Pro now, so I'll be able to just set up videos on both of those for you. But for now, bring you in, close-up look, and see what we make of this new Flysky servo. So here we have it. It's quite a nice box that it comes in, same as the enhanced receivers. So we'll start by cracking this open. And as you can see straight away, this is one of the short type servos. Does look really nice machining. It's X-head Allen keys on top and bottom. So it looks like it's fully metal geared. And for a 1/10 sort of RC car, that's plenty of cable. Nice that they've gone for all black, but I really like the fact that they've actually put the legend on the plug, so there's no guessing which wire's which or which way round your plug goes. But yeah, it's an Ibus 2 servo, so for this you will need an Ibus 2 compatible radio. At the time of doing this video, both the MB4 and the Pro have now been updated to let you set Ibus 2 on the enhanced receivers. So let's see what else we get in box. So we get a pair of cushions for the end at servo. You get a bunch of screws for fastening it down. And thank you Flysky for realising that we actually use screws, not wood screws, for fastening servos in. I'm amazed that Flysky is the first one that's actually sent me a servo that's got machine type screws, what you actually use in RC cars, rather than a bunch of wood screws, which would probably only rarely nowadays be any good for certain aeroplanes and a few boats. But there's not really that much use as wood anymore. You do get a bunch of washers, and you do get the metal inserts, and you do get a plastic servo arm. So, what else have we got hiding around in here? We do get the cool Flysky sticker sets. So we've got a few of them. Let's see if I can get you specs, and I'll try and put this up on screen for you. So, basically, the servo will run 6 volt, 7.4 and 8.2. So we've got 12 kilograms of torque at 6 volts, we've got 15 at 7.4 and 16.2 at 8.2, and a speed over 60 degrees at 6 volt is 0.073, which is already quite quick. At 7.4 you are getting sub, say 0.059, and then 8.2 volts we are 0.053, so it's quite a crazy sort of speed. So we do have a PWM frequency of 20 Hz to 500 Hz. It says auto adaptive, and then the Ibus 2 frequencies that it'll work at are 20 to 1000 Hz, and it does support the synchronize with RF feature that you might have seen if you've dug around in menus on the MB4 and the Pro. There is an option that says synchronize with RF, so that's interesting. It does say for Ibus 2 function, refer to transmitter manual. Be interesting to see if these servos will automatically shift between Ibus 2 and normal PWM depending on what signal they detect. Be interesting to see that. I know some of the servos with the where you can run different frequency ranges, you have to actually plug into a programmer on PC and then tell them which frequency to run at. The PWM, it does say auto adaptive, and the Ibus 2, it does say synchronise with RF. So be quite an interesting servo if this will automatically flip between the two. Just because it's Ibus 2 doesn't mean it'll only work Ibus 2. It does work PWM. We've got a brushless motor in it and metal alloy gears. Not aluminium, but metal alloy gears. So it's an alloy of metal. Different metals. It does say it's IPX4 water resistant. And from the measurement from the top of the servo down, it looks like that is 16 millimeters. So not quite 2 centimeters, so it's quite a short servo, which, to be fair, it makes it quite impressive specs that it's a shorty servo. But that's a quick look at the actual servo itself, just so you get some idea what you get in box, the actual build quality of it. I mean, not that it's going to come across on video, but it feels a nice solid servo. And there's no play in the actual servo head at all. There's no movement, which I like to see. Does mean you tend to get them centre properly every time. Some of the cheaper servos, they tend to have a little bit of play in it. And when you're trying to get your car to go straight, they never quite centre. Don't think it'll be a problem with this one. But, as I say, that's just a quick first look at it. I'll be doing videos on setting it up on both the MB4 and Pro, and off the top of my head I can't remember if the later firmware for the Paladin 18 is Ibus 2, but if it is, I'll be doing videos on that as well. But let's wrap this one up. So there you have it, the FXS260 servo from Flysky, Ibus 2. Hopefully you get an understanding of the differences with Ibus 2 now, compared to plugging in a normal servo. But yeah, quite interesting to see what this is. I think the specs of it lend itself quite nicely to the 1/10. You don't really need a lot of torque on the 10 scale race vehicles. Certainly the 2-wheel drive buggies, 1/10 scale touring cars, absolute cracking servo for that. You've got the speed, but you've also got the response time with the sort of 20 to 1000 hertz range that it can cover. The higher the hertz, the more times a second your transmitter's telling the servo where to be, so the quicker it's going to respond. So you could technically slow the servo down but still have the response that you'd want. Something interesting that we're going to have to go through when I do the setup videos. But yeah, thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this entertaining or interesting or useful. Share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.